Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Gage Golf and Curling Club. You are watching the NB Scotties Women's Provincial Curling Championship Final. We have a fantastic game for you this evening, a match of two great titans, two well-known names here in the province. Sylvie Quillian of Curl Moncton and Melissa Adams of the Capital Winter Club. And these two teams have battled their way to the final. It's been a great week here, and we are looking forward for a fantastic matchup between these two veteran teams. My name is Chris Jenkins. Joining me today is Chris Cogswell. We'll be your commentators for the game. The last shot draws have already been awarded, and hammer goes to Melissa Adams. So starting the game this evening will be Team Quillian. Lead stones first delivered by Team Quillian by Jane Boyle, the lead. Let's introduce the two teams. Team Quillian consists of lead Jane Boyle, Carol Webb as the second, Sarah Millay throwing third stones, and Sylvie Quillian skipper. Their coach is Ellery Robichaud, and again, they're from Curl Moncton. In the hack right now is the lead for Team Adams, Kendra Lister. She just delivering a corner guard here right now. The second for Team Adams is Molly Ward. The third, Jacqueline Crandall, and the skipper, Melissa Adams, out of the Capital Winter Club in Fredericton. Okay. So we just had a first flash of the game. Kendra was asked to remove a stone thrown by Jane Boyle. Came up a little bit narrow.
Tested that line in practice, and I see it caught them off guard again.
Yeah, that earlier today we really noticed that particular spot moving fairly significantly. These teams are well acquainted with one another. They have been staples of the New Brunswick curling scene for quite some time. Sylvie and Melissa have even played together in the past. So all 8 members of this ice this evening know each other very well.
It's a little too heavy on that.
We have still a center guard by Team Quillian and a stone in the top of the forefoot. Sarah Millay is calling the game, though Sylvie is throwing the fourth stones. So to the point we made a little bit earlier, both of them collaborate quite a bit on strategy. That one sailed a little deep. Melissa is asking Molly Ward to peel the guard.
Yeah, the Quillian team will need to readjust. We had first practice before this game, half second slower. So now this is back up to what we were expecting all week.
The guard was peeled successfully. And Sarah Millay has asked Carol to replace it. So right out of the gate today, we have a little bit of an advantage for Team Quillian. And center guard has been replaced, well executed. Melissa attempted, looks like it, she attempted to play the run back. Stuffed the guard and moved shot stone off center slightly.
Move them around.
It is fully exposed now. As I mentioned, Sarah Millay is calling the game, but she is throwing third stones. This is her first. Nice little tap and roll. Shot stone is exposed. Melissa is asking Jacqueline to hit what she can see on this.
Yeah, stay on this one.
It's in that path.
They're on the blue. They did get by the, but they are top blue.
Yeah, we've been seeing stones curl there like crazy all week long in that exact same spot. So it's caught both teams off a little off guard. Certainly earlier today we saw the exact same thing with the Forsyth and Adams game.
That is true. Depending on what you're throwing, you need probably an extra foot of ice sometimes in that path.
Sylvie is asking for a guard here. It looks like it's moving in that spot.
Well, they still have enough of it. Rock is still exposed.
Yeah,
So
I think
there's no chance to.
I think she can see all of it. She might even be able to get an inside roll here now with the board weight.
She's throwing less weight with the second stone.
She got to nose. Still, opportunity now back to Quillian to make the hit and roll. Unlike other games we've seen, there's no sparring going on in this final. Right out of the gate, both teams have been playing aggressive. Great opportunity here now.
True, she makes this inside roll. She's going to be sitting quite behind the staggered guard.
Sylvie looking for the steal this end.
Made it by.
She just made it by that guard. And hung around back 12. Melissa will have to, she's forced to deal with it, unfortunately.
It looks like she has opted to play the aggressive. Take that shot and go.
She's chosen to go top 4 then. We've got a terrific crew here now at the Gage Golf and Curling Club. Quite a big crew here and crowd to see this final. A lot of spectators. Thanks to everyone for tuning in and the spectators for showing up at the facility today. Melissa Adams, first stone. Well placed shot. Full 4 behind the center. Looks like Sylvia is going to freeze to that and try and hold her to 1. So she's acknowledging the good shot. Line looks good.
Oh, on that one, just to make sure it's there.
Weight was close. It just really curled on her in that spot.
Not quite to the top of the 4, although you're right, with a little more ice, it would have probably nibbled the top 4.
Curled a little bit too much on her, leaving a open 4-foot draw for 2 points. First end. Melissa Adams, first shot, last shot of the first end, needs a piece of the 4-foot for 2 points.
Starting to come back now. They'll want to stay close to this one.
This looks heavy.
That is. They do not.
The sweepers have fallen off it. And I think it just caught enough in the back.
The hands on for the 2 points.
Adams takes a 2-0 lead after the first end of play. The teams get a 1-minute break in between ends. Thanks very much for tuning in. We'd like to thank some of our sponsors for this event. Of course, top of the list is Kruger Products, the makers of Scotties line of paper products. We have locally Audio Corp, Leaf Filter, and King's Club Restaurant and Pub here in Armuckdo. We'd also like to mention that this is Curling Week in New Brunswick. It's the last day of Curling Week. Every club around the province has done something special to celebrate our sport. CWC, Gage, TSA included in that. So happy Curling Week in New Brunswick, everyone. Nice T-line draw by Kendra Lister. Sarah's asked Jane to remove it. It's important to mention that the winner of this game not only becomes the New Brunswick champion, but will represent New Brunswick at the Scott Tournament of Hearts, which will be held this year in Calgary, Alberta. And Chris, I think it's from the 16th to the 25th this year.
Yes.
The Mark and McPhail Center in the Canada Olympic Park. So this is really getting away on her.
They're on the other side of us. It looks like they pinched it inside on the release.
We've really seen a few stones take off around that center line area.
When it comes to trying to hit a rock on or near the center line, they need to be extra careful with the ice that they are.
We saw a couple of flashes in the semifinal game as well. Very similar path, too, around that area, center line.
Well, you also mentioned it, the 4-foot lines have been very tricky teams tonight.
They've been very active. Sarah has decided not to take any chances here and run the center guard back. Carol Webb. Good peel. Melissa asking Molly Ward simply to replace it. This is deep, Chris.
It's almost.
The ice definitely is keen here. The icing crew, the ice maker and the ice crew have done a fantastic job all week working on the ice, maintaining the ice. We were getting really fast split times even in the 10th end of all the draws. 15-2. Nice double there. With no guards out front, looks like the teams are just trading stones here now, anticipating potentially a blank end. I think she might have outed that one a little bit.
Well, that certainly helped. Because she threw a nice, comfortable weight there. Just let it float.
We're going to keep an eye on that path. Sarah Malay.
Just roll back to the top four.
This is a tricky path. Open hit here by Jacqueline. Kendra did a great job of keeping that straight. Open draw for Melissa. Looks like I'm anticipating this to be a blank end, Chris. So New Brunswick had a different schedule this season. We moved from a round robin play to a triple knockout. Adams, Melissa finished qualifier A, and Sylvie Quillian finished qualifier C. But Sylvie, with the most finals in qualifiers, earned the bye to the final today. Earlier today, the semifinal between Team Forsyth and Team Adams. It was an exciting game for a while there, Chris, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Take away the first end. A lot of rocks in play, yet they were just 1 point, 1.2 point. Both sides were making shots that were just eliminating most of those.
We had a fantastic 12-foot run back to score 2. I'm anticipating that we're going to see fantastic shots in this game as well. Right now, both teams are keeping it fairly open, trading stones. And a little hit and roll by Sylvie Quillian. Like to also mention Sylvie is the defending New Brunswick champion. And she, of course, played last year for Andrea Crawford. And this new squad really all has veteran players. And Sylvie is a 4-time New Brunswick champion. Nice nose hit by Adams. As I said, Adams finished the winner of Qualifier A. She only suffered her first loss to Melody Forsythe, who downed her 9-8 in draw number 5. And of course, those of you who know Melissa from New Brunswick Curling probably already know that she is a former Canadian and World Junior champion back in 1998.
Squeaks.
And it is a blank end in the second, as expected. Pretty simple hit and roll out for Team Quillian. And they'll carry the hammer over to the third end. Along with women's play, Melissa happens to play mixed doubles. You've tried, Chris, mixed doubles yourself, haven't you?
I have. If ever you're confident about play mixed doubles, very quickly dial it in.
Well, it just so happens that Melissa is a fantastic mixed doubles player, and she's represented New Brunswick, in fact, in mixed doubles play with her male partner, Alex Robichaud. Looks like Sarah is calling Jane to throw a corner guard. That one just sailed a little bit too deep from Team Adams.
Race is definitely up to speed now. That was almost 15 seconds hog to hog. Wonderful shot.
That's a really nice hit and roll.
Makes the double and almost rolls it for cover behind that guard.
I think she can just see enough of this. Molly Ward. Nice hit by Molly. Hit what she could see. Opportunity is still there, though. Sarah's asked for the out-turn hit for Carol. Try and get a little flop in behind that guard. That's a great shot. Very nice, nicely executed by Carol Webb. Being 2 down, Sarah knows that she needs to generate some points. Melissa left the corner guard there. That can be taken full advantage of by Team Quillian. Set behind the tee line, shot stone. It's 3/4 exposed, however.
I like going for this stone. They also have the opportunity to roll across the house.
You think the double's there, Chris?
If you wanted to throw that, you could. So here, I'd be happy with rolling it, trying to get close to that shot.
This must be out a little bit ways. Sweepers are trying to carve it. Nope. Straight peel. She must have outed that a little bit. I think that was not the call. Gives Sylvie an opportunity to just draw back to the open side. Looking to generate her 2 points. Sarah Malay.
Hold on the back.
It really needs to hit the brakes. And it has. Got away with it. I think the call here is the tap and roll. Jacqueline is attempting to hit shot stone, get a little flop in behind that red guard.
Yeah, coming in with some very gentle weight, tap weight. Does need to come over.
It's out there a long way. And here's the little tap. Shot stone. Shot stone belongs to Adam.
Wonderful stone position.
Sylvia's asked for a similar weight. Sweepers are really working on this. Move shot stone on the second shot. The thrown stone now becomes second. Quillian lies. 2, 3, and 4. Looking to generate her 2 points to tie up this game.
I think they're lining up to touch the blue stone Team Quillian just threw. Doesn't look like the iced a corner for you to do it without touching that stone.
Melissa knows she has to be really careful here not to leave her a double. Very easy to leave Sylvie a double and score a pile. First stone, Melissa Adams. She's opted to draw open side and sit 2, but this is curling a lot. It is 4th shot, and didn't really help her there.
Just eliminates that biter.
Great opportunity here now for Sylvie. Currently 2 down. If she hits what she can see, I think she'll push that opponent's stone over the top of the blue and potentially sit 3. I think that's her call.
This type of ice, even backline, be enough. But you will just have to, get it, or at least blue that's holding on.
Looks like she's got about hack weight on this. This stone is really curling.
They might be on their.
A little bit of an unforced error there by Team Quillian. Overcurled onto their own stone. I believe they are shot stone at the moment. But it's an open hit here now for Melissa Adams. And sit 2. Again, Melissa has to be careful here now. If she noses this, I think there leaves a double to score multiple.
Double was stolen too because of her stone. She threw it to the other side. You'll want to be careful here with caught a few of them coming this way unless you throw it hard.
Looks like she's throwing about control weight at this. She did stick around. Sylvie isn't going to chance the double and take her 1 here. Sylvie Quillian, last stone of the 3rd end. Nose hit for 1 point. Sweepers are holding it. And manages to hang on for 1. We have a 2-1 game after 3. Melissa Adams is up 2-1. Like to take a moment to really thank all the volunteers and organizing committee who really make these events happen. And hats off to our club president and organizing committee chair, Matt Monroe, for doing a fantastic job organizing all the volunteers, the ice team, the coach, the officials, and the array of volunteers that we've had here all week. And it has actually been a unbelievable event and really world-class work being done by everyone involved. Melissa has asked Kendra for a corner guard, and this looks a little bit heavy. It's definitely slipping into the rings. I think she was planning on trying to come around that one, Chris.
She was.
Yeah, a little bit of an unforced error there, but leaves the stone in a good position. Adam sits too with hammer.
While a double would be nice, they don't have to worry as much because the roll would be tucked behind that cover.
We'll see how much it moves here in this spot. I don't think we've thrown anything out this far.
Well, they're not throwing a lot of weight, so you
They're
can see it
really
is moving quite a bit.
Yeah, they're really trying to hold this, and they managed to hold it to get the top one. Did she start that?
She was on the broom with that one.
Really going in that spot then, because that was good weight. Melissa asking to remove the top blue.
They remove the blue and leave their red. Second chance for Carol to make hit and roll. She threw a little more weight this time.
Nice shot by Carol Webb. It is behind the tee line. It is tempting to freeze to it, but Melissa is thinking, nope, we're not leaving that there.
That is true, opting to throw the turn to go after that blue.
But the ice she's giving looks like she's going through the hole. Sorry, she's playing the slash. Slash on the two blues, and it's just not going to come up. No. Team Quillian has signaled that they're going to throw a staggered guard here. Sylvie knows that she really has to take every advantageous situation to play the steal. Was out there a long way.
Just a little too much weight on it. It's going to rub off that blue.
Big opportunity here now for Team Quillian. They can get to the top of the 4 there. It's going to be really hard to remove. You'll need at least 2 stones to remove. It's always nice to have a little bit of a wall in the back 4 when you're doing things like this, isn't it, Chris?
I always feel back of the house. Quite a bit of ice for the shot.
This is a curly spot. It should move here if she's got good weight. This looks a little hot.
This is going to bump the red about 2 feet if it's over to it. Sails on by. Jacqueline with opportunity to make the first shot they want.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate unforced error there. Opportunity now goes to Team Adams.
At her hand, it looks like it's a little less weight than last time. Just a hair down.
This looks pretty good.
Stop full.
I think she can only see a sliver of it. Team Adams sitting 1 and 2.
Sylvie's seen this path a few times. The aggressive call here to potentially corner for back red. If you tuck around that top red, protect him from any pick.
There's no run. Exactly. You have to trust your sweepers on shots like that. Sweepers will have to put that there. But I think they can carve it in there. I think she's opted to hit what she can see.
Well, this is still a good call. Cutting down the red.
Sylvie without hammer, however. She knows she can't leave that stone there. Sylvie Quillian's first stone of the end. By the guard. That's not bad. That's not bad. It leaves her shooter in a advantageous spot. Melissa Adams' stones are behind the tee line, and she still has those just off center staggered guards.
I agree, that's a great spot. Melissa will have to be careful. They're tempted to remove it, although you need to get inside that blue to not risk jamming your red, and then Sylvie will just top of the red that's at the back 4.
Exactly. She'll force her to 1. Possibly even steal. Now this is the path that we've noticed in several games, Chris. This should go. This is a swingy spot. We'll see if she keeps her weight up here. Melissa Adams. This is really curling. She may have, she just touched that stone. Open the door here now for Team Quillian to freeze right to shot stone and really get out of this end. Potentially even steal.
You're right. If she puts this in the right spot, it's going to be big. Ideally, she would want to be 3/4 frozen, center line side of that.
She needs to be there on this one. She can't be short or she'll potentially give up 3.
You're right. This is going to be a very sensitive shot. Any kind of bump, especially if it's heavy and gets to the back rim, it's going to open 2 for Team Adams.
This is a quick spot and should move.
They must be going for
lots of weight here. That's a good shot. It is difficult to tell, but it looks like Adams may be shot. Looks like we may have a bump potentially for 3 points.
There's enough of a gap there that Melissa can come down with just a comfortable amount of weight and tap it to the back.
Yeah, I think she could even play board at this. She might play hack.
Well, honestly, you have the right, because if you hit the thin, you do have the, as a catcher to still keep your 3 points. That blue run just enough that it'd be very hard to jam it against that red it's sitting beside.
From the ice she's giving, it looks like she's going to be throwing heavy hack to board.
Three under coming up. See what kind of weight is decided on.
Fourth and last shot, Melissa Adams. Potential shot for 3 points.
carve this over.
Their sweepers are trying to carve it. I think she might have just a piece of it. Not enough. And just one. Won by Adams. Opportunity there lost. 3-point possibility. And it is now a 2-point game, 3-1 for Adams after 4 ends of play. You are listening to the NB Scotties Provincial Women's Curling Championship. We are live from the Gage Golf and Curling Club in Ormocto. Thank you for tuning in. We've got a great crew and a great audience here at the club. And this is the final. Team Adams versus Team Quillian. So earlier the game I had mentioned that all these players know each other very, very well, especially Sylvie Robichaud and Melissa Adams, or Sylvie Quillian, I should say, formerly Robichaud. Sylvie and Melissa played together for 3 seasons. Back in 2017-18, 19, and 20. And Melissa played third for Sylvie in those years. Kendra Lister, just starting the first stone of the 5th end. Jane Boyle. Kendra being asked to throw up the center guard. Two skips checking to see if the stone is in fact touching the center line. It does matter because stones touching the center line in the free guard zone cannot be moved off the center line. Call it the no tick rule. Nice breeze. Sweepers are trying to carve this over here. I think we've got a little bit of a stagger. Yep. And Sarah is signaling to play the double peel.
Half stone comfortably.
This is over curled.
Does it get rid of? No.
Might have started that in a little bit, hey?
Potentially. Just the way she slid out, I couldn't tell. Still, one guard gone.
Melissa's going to put it back. This is hanging out there, Chris. Sweepers are trying to carve it over there.
Yeah, a little bump on that red. And a little bit more coverage now. But now they have stagger guard going from the other direction.
Sarah's not going to fool around with this at all, and she's going to get rid of both of them.
Coincidentally, this side, half a stone is.
Nice shot. Jacqueline Crandall. Almost, eh? Just needed to come a little bit more. But I don't think she's going to be tempted, no.
You're right. Sylvie's. Just enough.
Eam Adams attempting to put back the center guard. Sweepers are attempting to carve it back over to center. Good enough, I think.
Sylvie's looking to see if they want to the guard or actually make a play for it.
I think she's determined maybe it's far out enough. It's a long enough guard that they can safely get by that.
True, there's enough room, enough depth, just as you.
She needs 2 points to tie her up and get back into this game.
This is close. Just gets
She's by the guard. Really nice shot. Fantastic shot by Sarah Malay. That helps. And those two stones look pretty parallel to one another, so I think the only thing Melissa Adams can do here is hit and potentially roll behind that center.
You're right. There's the roll behind the center, or she could roll it behind the two blue shot. Center would be your better option.
We'll see if the spot curls. Melissa Adams from the Capital Winter Club trying to hit and roll. And this stone is curling. It looks like she's got a nice roll here, though. She made the roll. And unfortunately, it's very much accessible by Team Quillian. I think Sylvie can see almost all of it.
So he's going to definitely want to get here. She noses, or even sides, pocket double. She will love.
Sylvie Quillian attempting the hit and roll in behind cover by the guard. It's going to stay right there. The question is, has she left her opponent a double?
Oh yes. You find the center of that. Let's go.
I agree.
Back to an earlier conversation, Chris. Would you be tempted to throw a hack weight double at this one?
No, not in this circumstance. I mean, a little Eddie Weirnick. No, I don't think this is an Eddie shot right now. I think there's going to be some heat on this.
Yeah, I suspect this will be a little bit quicker than 5 or 10 hit.
Right. Melissa Adams tempting the double.
She floated this out.
She only has one. This is an open draw for 2 points and to tie up the game. That was unexpected. Sylvie Quillian. Opportunity here.
Just needs full 8 for the second point.
Sylvie Quillian, in turn draw. Last shot, end number 5. In-turn draw for 2 points for Team Quillian. And to potentially tie the game. Sweepers are just lightly brushing. Hands go up. It looks like 2 points. We have a tie game after 5 ends of play. And we're going to take a little 5th end break. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to be away for about 5 minutes. And in the meantime, thanks for tuning in. We'd like to, again, thank our sponsors, Kruger Products, Audio Corp, Leaf Filter, and King's Club. And we will return in just a few moments. And we're back. Welcome back to the Gage Golf and Curling Club. If you're just tuning in right now, you are watching the NB Scotties Women's Provincial Curling Championship. This is the final of the match of the entire tournament. And we have a battle of two titans here in New Brunswick. Team Sylvie Quillian and Team Melissa Adams. We've just started the sixth end. This is the second stone by Jane Boyle. She's already thrown one, and I see that it's out of play. Chris, was that hogged or thrown through the rings?
That one, I missed it, unfortunately, so I'm not sure what happened to that rock.
Either way, an unforced error.
This one looks like they're going to kind of go around the corner guard they just threw.
Fantastic draw by Sylvie in the fifth end to tie up the game, and we are now at a 3-3 tie with Team Adams with hammer. Kendra Lister being asked to come around this corner guard.
Now they're signaling that it's a little heavy.
That's just a little bit heavy and slipped through the back. Again, another unforced error there. Opening the door a little bit for Team Quillian. Even though Sylvie is the skip, Sarah Millay is calling the game.
This one's a little heavy as well. With some sweeping, that's definitely going to be through.
And this is through as well.
After the break, both teams coming through a little bit hot with their draws.
The ice hasn't gotten faster.
Nope, they were both about 13-8, the two we just watched go through.
Melissa, not taking any chances, asks to spill the guard. And performs successfully. Sarah Millay is asking Carol Webb, remove this corner guard. Oh. And the two teams are just trading opportunities back and forth here. We've got some flashes here. A little unprecedented and a little surprising. Molly Ward attempting to get around this corner guard. And Rex, but the shooter does roll into the top 12. Hit and roll made successfully by Sarah. And Melissa's decided to become a bit aggressive here now with Jacqueline's stone. See if she can sink this front of the tee line behind that corner. This too is a bit heavy. Just slips behind the tee line.
Sarah can see enough of it, so they're going to go for the hit. This one.
Sit two and hopefully get a force. Well, she got enough of that. But opportunity back to Team Adams. And Jacqueline's going to try and give her the same shot twice. Going to sink this one around this corner. This is really moving. Oh, she's by.
Makes into the 8-foot to be sure.
That's a very nice shot by Jacqueline. Definitely puts the pressure on Sylvie right now.
Sylvie can still see probably about half to a third of it.
Her and Sarah are talking it over. Sylvie's trying to hit what she can see. She's by the guard. The shooter doesn't hang on to the back of the rings, but I think that was mission accomplished for Sylvie. Melissa Adams trying to bury this around her corner guard. Potentially trying to generate a couple points here this end. And just a little bit light and tight on that one. Sylvie has decided that she's going to use those corners to her advantage. Sylvie Robichaud, last stone. Trying to tuck it around this corner guard.
Heavy, but it does hang on to.
But perhaps the mission is accomplished with a force.
Exactly. Now it's just an open draw for one.
We've seen a few stones thrown through the rings this end, Chris, so maybe this is not as easy a draw as you like to believe. I'm sure the front end has communicated the weight to her.
Well, Melissa's already tried to throw one. Should have a comfortable feel what the weight is here to get the point.
This should be the swinging path, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right, there will be a lot more movement, although nothing to worry about when it comes to obstacles.
Sweeper's just keeping it clean. Must be pretty close. He only needs full 8.
Trying to put the brakes on.
And she's just hangs on at the back for 1 point. Little bit nerve-wracking there for a moment for Team Quillian. Melissa Adams. So we have a 1 point lead. Welcome back. We're about to start the 7th end of the New Brunswick Scotties final. The score is 4-3 for Team Adams out of the Capital Winter Club in Fredericton. This stone is really curling, Chris. And she just managed, nope.
Nope, just nudges it over to the 8-foot.
We've seen a lot of stones in the last 2 games in that exact same spot curl pretty sharply. I think she probably threw that well. That's that spot. It really goes there. Kendra Lister throws to the top of the 12-foot to sit 2. Jane Boyle, nose hit, and roll. Hangs on to the 12-foot to the wings for second shot. Nice shot there by Molly Ward. Team Adams still sitting 2 points. 2 shots, first and second. Carol Webb. Looks like that just hung on, Chris.
Just enough of that rock with the other side. Teams are choosing not to take any chances currently right now, just trading stones.
Sarah Malay, nice nose hit.
Well, they started with some opportunity this end, and it's turned into a clean, looking like a blank situation. This one.
Looks a little soft out of her hand.
Well, Jacqueline's been consistently comfortable weight.
Oh, the sweepers held it. I'd like to mention that this is the last season for our major sponsor here in the province of New Brunswick, Kruger Products, who sponsors Scotties and Scotties paper products. This is their last year for sponsoring here in New Brunswick. They will continue to sponsor the Scots Tournament of Hearts at the national level, but this is the last year. So we'd like to thank Kruger Products for all their years of support for women's curling in the province of New Brunswick. Melissa Adams. Sylvie Quillian's first. Nose hit. And she's right on the money. I think I mentioned a little bit earlier, this year's national championship, the 2024 Scotties Tournament of Hearts, is going to be held at the Canadian Olympic Park in Calgary, Alberta. And we've already got some qualifiers. Obviously, we have pre-qualifiers like Rachel Homan and Jennifer Jones. They will be attending this year's Scotties. Bailey Scoffin of Whitehorse has already qualified. And of course, Team Canada, Gary Anderson.
And much like today, other provinces and territories will be finishing up their Scotties plays down.
We'll be keeping an eye on that.
Nova Scotia Scotties play down should finish up any minute. Started an hour before we did. Should be into the 10th end.
And we do have a result from that. It looks like Jill Brothers out of Halifax has won. Congratulations to Jill Brothers out of Halifax for winning the Nova Scotia Scotties. Last rock. Sylvie Quillian looking for the hit and roll out to blank the end and carry over to the next. And that is a nose hit. She will be taking one, and we are back to a tie game. A 4-4 tie. After 7 ends of play. Jane Boyle throwing the lead stone here now for Sylvie Quillian. Throwing up the center guard. We have another result, by the way, for Scotties. Joanne Rizzo of Yellowknife has won her Scotties championship. We'll see her at the Scott Tournament of Hearts in Calgary. Congratulations to Joanne Rizzo. The corner guard goes up by Team Adams. Nice shot by Jane.
Barely any sweeping for that one.
Chris, did you get a split on that?
Well, to get that, we'll have to go to the numbers. The numbers brought to you by this stopwatch.
Sponsored by your stopwatch. What do we have?
15.25.
That's quick. That is fast ice. Great job by Chris Tapley and the whole ice crew here this week for maintaining our ice and getting everything lightning fast, up to speed, lots of curl.
That's a good point. We have been noticing that all the games, even right into the 10th end, it's been maintaining the speed, 14.8, 14.7, depending on what path you're taking in. And
that's fantastic for championship play. Arrow Webb is hitting the open one. Looks like it has to curl. Might be rolling out, and it does.
you can see also the have an easy.
Molly Ward with the nose hit. Just couldn't quite get the roll there. Opens the door here now. And another traded nose hit.
Back-to-back nose hits. Opportunity for Molly to improve on her next time.
Melissa's now talking about rolling the other way.
Too much actually.
Sylvie's opting for the outturn draw here for Sarah. This is the swingy side.
Well, they did just throw this a few minutes. A lot of room with this one.
It should go here. Okay, back four. Didn't move as much as previous stones, maybe a little more outside that 4-foot line, I think. Both teams are struggling with taking advantage of this opportunity to roll in behind this guard.
Finding this.
Carol trying to carve it over. And the shooter just rolls out to the rings. Get around this corner guard and you have a chance to generate your two. Hit and roll is made. Exposed at the back, but Melissa is going to ignore this and draw to the top of the 4. Melissa Adams' first shot. The 8th end. Going to snap here. Weight looks pretty good. They dragged it back to the back 4. It's buried, but gives Sylvie a chance to draw right on top. As I was saying, Chris, this is a really swingy spot. This is very makeable for Team Quillian.
That is true. We hit the broom here. We'll come back comfortably to the center line.
This is really curling hard.
Yeah, out of her hand with light.
Going to have a tough time getting by the guard. They might be by. She's by the guard. Just a shade short. Full 8 draw for 2 points here. Pendulum has swung a little bit there, Chris.
Be able to test and see running the speed on this side.
Last rock of the 8th end. Melissa Adams drawing full 8 foot for 2 points. And she's made it.
Only a little bit of panic yelling to sweep that.
2-point lead takes Melissa Team Adams to a 6-4 lead after 8 ends. Chris, what's your impressions of the two teams?
Well, thinking back to the game, as you know, both teams have been caught off guard when it comes to the line for the hits. And now they come back from the fifth and break. Both the teams have been struggling a bit with draw weight. So it's nice to see that they are now dialing back in as we get to the.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried there when one end in particular where they were throwing a fair number of stones through the rings. They seemed to adjust. It was the sixth end, actually, and they adjusted fairly quickly.
You're right. And thinking about Melissa specifically, her first one was light when she tried, and then the second one almost heavy enough to not be shot raw, loaded to the back of the.
Exactly. So these two titans in curling here in New Brunswick are very evenly matched, and the scoreboard shows it. I anticipated a close game here today, and I think everybody in the audience here as well. We will see a fight from Team Quillian to get their 2 points back in the ninth end here. Team Quillian, not surprisingly, opts to throw the corner guard. That lead stone is positioned really well, Chris, right at the top of the button.
It's in a great place.
And to emphasize how important it is to have your lead stones positioned just perfectly. A few inches with the lead stone makes a world of difference. A foot heavier, and may not be such a great shot.
This one here should be near the top of the house when it finishes. Snibbling the top 12.
Yeah, I think Sarah knows she can't leave that there.
You knows it. It's a rock you can roll it away, you open it up. It's win-win.
I think she can see almost all of it, Chris.
Still leaves the exposed.
Just talking about what kind of weight to throw here. Carol?
Makes it by.
That's a lovely shot by Carol Webb. Ninth end of the NB Scotties final. Molly Ward. And Molly.
And this one makes it by too.
Wow, fantastic curling.
We may have another end of trading almost nose for nose hits.
I think Sarah is hoping to get a roll in behind that corner guard. He needs 2 points here to tie up this match.
Carol threw a little less weight, so there may be the opportunity for the goal you just spoke of. Still going to need to sweep it.
This is curling hard. I think she's on the guard.
This is on the guard now.
Not surprising, Melissa not taking any chances, peeling a corner. This is wide.
Couldn't tell from this perspective. My guess is she extended back towards the center line.
Yeah.
Because we've been seeing movement off the center line direction.
She's by the guard. Very nice shot. Very nice shot by Sarah Malay. And that changes things immensely.
Now instead of peeling that guard, they're going to follow it down. I may have spoke too soon. Now they're lining up, running the guard. Back to the corner for each.
Jacqueline Crandall.
Close. Should know that.
Very nice shot. Corner frozen. Looks like Team Quillian is shot stone. Tried to corner freeze to that. Rubbed and rolled a little bit. Leaving it wide open for Team Adams.
Hit this blue and roll it. Just the edge button would be.
Sweeper's on it. It's moving.
So look.
Team Adams currently sitting 1, 2, and 3. Sylvie Quillian with last shot. Timeout called by Team Quillian. The coaches and fifths are heading out to the ice. The coach for Team Quillian out of Crow Moncton is Ellery Robichaud. Kayla Russell is the alternate for Team Adams, who's also heading out to the ice. Teams get 90 seconds during the timeout period to converse with players and coaches.
Team Adams sitting great here. This is a tricky one, Team Quillian. You do here. What I'm looking at top, the red at the top four, hit and roll, top of one of those, put it into that little pocket there would be great. Just a gentle roll over there.
Against the third shot stone.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically ending up corner frozen. I think Adams would then blast that shot. Oh, you don't have a lot of options here. Doesn't look good to hit and roll in behind the second shot because it's an easy run.
That is true. It's so close when you get a roll. Contact on that top red is going to make it easily go.
The other option, of course, is to play just a gentle tap back, tap that stone back a foot, sit there and hope for a jam, and potentially generate your two that way. From that ice, it looks like she's throwing hit weight at it. Perhaps they've determined to try and take one this end, take their one this end, and steal in 10 to tie her up.
With the turn they're throwing, maybe trying to get a roll in behind that top four.
Push it over just enough. It may be enough. There may be enough room to push that third shot stone over to the 12-foot. Oh, nose. Nose hit. Team Quillian sits second and fourth right now. I think Melissa Adams' objective is just to make that stone go away and leave her a very difficult shot for one. You knows that. You either have to make an outturn draw or the double. Well, it's made the situation a little bit interesting here now because you can't hit either shot or a second shot stone and be shot yourself.
No, you definitely would need to roll on. Looks like they are going. They may very well be lined up to hit and roll for their one.
The other option, of course, is the difficult draw through the two reds for your one. But again, half a stone should do the job here.
I believe they're going to throw the turn. The one on our left, because then is the second red as a catcher.
Last rock, ninth end, Sylvie Quillian attempting to score one here and make the double for one. And she curls a little bit too much and gives up a steal of one. She won't be happy with that shot. You are tuning in late. You are watching the final of the NB Scotties Women's Provincial Curling Championships. We are broadcasting live from the Gage Golf and Curling Club here in the town of Oromocto. And we have Team Quillian versus Team Adams, two veteran teams who know each other very well. And currently, Team Adams is in the lead with a 7-4 lead after 9 ends. Team Quillian are looking to generate their 3 points this end. I'm expecting 2 corner guards to go up. That is the indication by Sarah Millay to Jane Boyle.
This one puts into the house.
Kendra Lister.
Hits and rolls intended.
Jane Boyle on a second attempt of a corner guard. Molly Ward.
Both teams have a lot of time remaining. A little more than for each team.
That should be plenty.
So they should.
Especially Team Quillian, who needs 3 to tie. The other corner guard is a call here.
We would like to take a moment to comically thank Grattan for the remaining time. We're getting the thumb. Apparently he appreciates the quick shout. Texted me the totals.
Certainly at this point in the game, Melissa isn't taking any chances and has asked for this corner guard to be peeled.
Suspect from Red be
All
heavyweight
hits.
shots.
That'll be all hits.
This one is supposed to know.
Wow, that was a little bit of an unforced error there.
I agree. That may cost them.
There's still a lot of work to do from both teams. Sarah Millay is asking Carol Webb to sink this around the corner guard that was just placed there. Slipping behind the tee line.
Well, it's behind tee, although it is and behind.
All counters are good counters. It is second shot, however. You're down 3, have to take these risks. Melissa attempting to peel the corner again. This is the 10th end of the final of the Women's Scotties New Brunswick Curling Championship. Team Adams has a 7-4 lead on Team Quillian. Jacqueline Crandall. Hit and roll, didn't have to stick around there. Sylvie's going to use that corner guard to her full advantage.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely gonna sweepers this one.
Lots of room by the guard. Just didn't finish for her.
It's open enough that there may be double possibility.
Melissa Adams attempting to remove potentially one, maybe two of these stones. Adams line shot and third shot. Second shot still belongs to Team Quillian.
Three is certainly on the table here. They make this hit and roll and they hide, even if they get it over to edge 4, behind that red stone. It's going to be challenging. Pick out.
I think timeout's being called. Coaches and fifths are making their way to the ice. The coach for Team Quillian is Ellery Robichaud. The alternate for Team Adams is Kayla Russell. Both teams are conversing back and forth here right now.
The hit. Amazing, perhaps. What do you like?
At some point, you have to remove shot stone. That's without a question. So,
I'm more inclined because freeze. He's throw a guard. Could freeze onto it.
If you play the hit and roll now, she is going to run her red back. But you may not have much of a choice. The other option is to go around that blue corner, potentially sit second or third shot. Either way, you need a miss from your opponent. Sylvie Quillian.
Moving.
Hit and roll out, and I think that will do it. Melissa Adams is going to throw her last. Nope, they've decided to shake hands. That is it. That is it for the women's New Brunswick champion. Melissa Adams, Jacqueline Crandall, Molly Ward, Kendra Lister, alternate Kayla Russell are your Scotties 2024 New Brunswick champions. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. We appreciate all our sponsors, including, of course, Kruger Products, Scotties line of paper products, Audio Corp, Leaf Filter, and the King's Club Restaurant and Pub. We appreciate everyone who has tuned in. We appreciate the audience and all the fans here today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Good luck to the girls at the National Scotties Tournament of Hearts. Thank you, Chris, for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
That's good.